huge welcome back to Stace Does Travel and a huge welcome to a brand new series which I'm really excited about, all about Disneyland Paris. This is going to be everything that you need to know for your first time to Disneyland Paris, or maybe you've been a few times already but you just need a refresher. This is going to be everything that you need to know to go to Disneyland Paris and have the best time ever. This is going to be a 10-part series with videos releasing every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. and in those 10 videos I'm going to try and tell you everything you need to know about Disneyland Paris for your very first time. So let's start with the absolute basics. There are two parks at Disneyland Paris. You have Disneyland Park and Walt Disney Studios. Walt Disney Studios is currently under a massive refurbishment and will be becoming Disney Adventure World sometime in early 2026. We're hoping maybe middle of 2026, but it is currently known as Walt Disney Studios. But obviously if you're watching this in 2026 and you're thinking, Walt Disney Studios? It's Disney Adventure World now. So yes, we have the two parks and also a shopping district that is known as Disney Village. Disneyland Park is going to be what's known as your castle park, and that is where you will obviously find the castle. Disneyland Park is the bigger of the two parks currently. Obviously with Walt Disney Studios having an expansion, it may actually be bigger, but currently it is the bigger of the two parks, and it is the main park, as most people will call it, purely because it's the one that started Disneyland Paris. Walt Disney Studios didn't exist before. So when Disneyland Paris was actually built in 1992, April 12th if you want to know, that's when it opened, it just had the one park, it had Disneyland Park. So that is your main park or your castle park, and that is where you will find 4 themed lands. Well, technically 5. So we have Main Street USA. So as you enter the park, you will enter Main Street USA. So there's lots of amazing themed buildings around, and then there is the main walkway straight down to the castle. So that is going to be Main Street USA. Obviously you have the beautiful castle. That is what we call the hub, because it is the hub of the park. It's where like the stage shows and stuff happen. So we call that the hub. And then from the hub, you will have 4 different lands. So if you go left, so we're looking at the castle, you go left, you will head into Frontierland. That is where you can find rides like Phantom Manor and Big Thunder Mountain. Big Thunder Mountain is known all over the Disney parks. It is a classic. Disneyland Paris has the best one. So there's Frontierland. Just to the right of Frontierland, you actually have Adventureland, which is where you can find rides like Pirates of the Caribbean and also Indiana Jones. If you go directly through the castle, that's right, you can walk through it. Some of the castles around the world you can't walk through, but at Disneyland Paris you can walk through the castle, you can go underneath the castle, and you can also go upstairs in the castle. So if you're not sure about how to do this, ask a cast member and they will help you. But yeah, you can go beneath the castle and upstairs, but also straight through it. So if you go straight through the castle, you will enter Fantasyland, which is where you will find classic rides like Peter Pan's Flight and Dumbo's Flying Elephants and all of those fun, sweet little rides that everyone has come to know and love. And again, if we're looking at the castle and we are going right, we are heading into Discoveryland. Slightly different to the American parks where they have Tomorrowland, we have Discoveryland. And that is where we will find rides like Hyperspace Mountain and Star Tours and Autopia. So we have very similar rides to some of the other parks, but we do have different variations, whereas Hyperspace Mountain / Space Mountain, we have Autopia in like the American parks, they have Tomorrowland Speedway, I want to say it's called. I don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, we do have some different variations of some of the better known rides around the world. Moving on to Walt Disney Studios. There's not themed lands as such. Walt Disney Studios is a bit of a hot mess, I'm not going to lie. It's really hard to sort of separate out into sections, but I will do what I can. So as you walk into Walt Disney Studios, you will be met with the currently brand new world premiere, which was also known as Studio One back in the day. That literally opened a couple of weeks ago after a really, really big refurb and is looking amazing. So the main building as you walk in is called World Premiere. You can walk straight through World Premiere and it'll take you into the main park. From the exit of World Premiere, you have 2 options currently. When the park does expand and becomes Disney Adventure World, you will have 3. So currently you can go left or you can go right. In the future, you will be able to go straight down to World of Frozen and down to the lake, but currently that is off limits at time of filming in June 2025. But if you go left, you will go around to Avengers Campus, which is one of the best themed lands in my opinion. So yes, you can go left around to Avengers Campus, or you can go right pretty much the rest of the park. So if you do go right, you will be met with a ride called Crush's Coaster, which is exclusive to Disneyland Paris, and I would highly, highly recommend, if you can ride it, that you do ride it, because it is amazing. It's one of my favourite rides at Disneyland Paris. Continuing on from Crush's Coaster, we have a very, very, very small Cars Land. I say Cars Land, it's not really a Cars Land, it's one ride with a bit of theming basically. Carrying on from there, you are met with Toy Story Playland. Similar to Toy Story Land in Walt Disney World, we have Toy Story Playland. Our rides are very small in comparison, but they are very well themed. If you carry on from Toy Story Playland, you will enter Place de Remy, aka Ratatouille Land. That is where we have the OG Ratatouille ride. Disneyland Paris was the first park to have that ride, and yeah, if you love Ratatouille, you will love that area of the park. Coming out of Ratatouille Land, slight diversion here, you can head down to what is called Cars Road Trip. It is the old studio backlot tour, and it basically takes you through a couple of scenes of Cars, and then there's a big finale. I won't tell you much more about that in case you want to ride it, and I don't want to spoil it for you. So yeah, those are currently sort of the main lands in that park. Like I say, right now it is really hard because it doesn't have much of a flow because there's so much construction going on. But when the park opens, which I'm so excited for, by the way, I'm so excited for all that construction to be done, it will be amazing because we are going to have a brand new section of the park. It's going to be massive. So we're going to have a brand new expansion which is going to lead down to a massive lake whose name escapes me. It's called something. Can't remember at this current moment in time, I'm so sorry. And also we are having World of Frozen, which I can't wait for. This has been a long time coming in Disneyland Paris, so it's really exciting to have a brand new land come in. And there's also going to be a Lion King land coming, not anytime soon. It hasn't even started building yet. I think they're currently bulldozing. But yes, we will also be having a Lion King land in the future. We also have Disney Village, which is like Walt Disney World Disney Springs or like Disneyland's Downtown Disney. So it's like a shopping and restaurant district, a lot smaller than our American parks, but still just as lovely. So you will find shops where you can get your Disney merch. You'll find some exclusive shops like Disney Style and Disney Glamour. And we also have Deco by Disney, not Disney Deco. Deco by Disney, which is an exclusive home store, which is really exciting. And there's a few places to eat throughout the village as well. There are also quite a few on-site hotels, but I'm going to do another video all about the hotels and everything that you need to know and how they're different and all that jazz. But Disney Village does also lead down to the on-site hotels. Every single on-site hotel at Disneyland Paris is walking distance to the parks, minus Davy Crockett, because you do have to drive for that one, but I don't class that as an on-site hotel. But I will cover that in another video. So yes, we do have some on-site hotels as well as some partner hotels, but again, all covered in another video. For your first day at Disneyland Paris, I would always recommend to go for as long as you can and as long as you can afford. Purely because I could say, I'll go for 2 days and you'll have a great time, but you might pick the busiest 2 days at Disneyland Paris the entire year. You never know, you don't know. Like these crowd calendars, they're accurate up until a point, but you never know. So if it is your first time or even your second and like you've dipped your toe into Disney before and you want to go back, go for as long as you possibly can. Like, yes, Disneyland Paris is doable, probably in 2 days, don't get me wrong. But if you want to do every ride that you want to do, you want to try all the snacks, you want to try all the food, you want to meet the characters and you want to see the shows, you're probably better off going for about 4 or 5 days. You could probably go for a week if you really wanted to, but I think 4 or 5 days is quite a nice amount of time. And then you also have some downtime that you can actually incorporate into that long time. So like when I go now, I usually go for about 3 or 4 days, and I always make sure that I do have a bit of downtime in that time because it is a hard holiday. Disneyland Paris is a big park. It's a hard holiday. So yeah, I would always recommend going for a bit longer to get more done, but also to have that chill time that you really do need. A lot of people heading to Disneyland Paris for the first time are always really worried about the language barrier. And while yes, don't get me wrong, there is a small language barrier, 99% of the cast members do speak English, and they speak English very, very well. I don't think I've ever encountered a cast member who doesn't understand what I'm trying to ask them. So please don't worry about the language barrier. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, there is, some shows that'll be partially in French. There is some, things you may not understand, like some of the fireworks is also in French. You may not understand it, but you can get the gist of it from what's happening in front of your eyes. But do not worry about the language barrier. Majority of the cast members speak English, they speak it very well. And, if they don't understand what you're trying to tell them, just get Google Translate out and you can communicate that way. There's a workaround. So yes, there is a small language barrier, but I honestly wouldn't worry about it because the cast members are fantastic with their English skills and also with their communication skills. And I just don't think it's as much of a big deal as people want to think it is. I'm going to finish up this first video just with a couple of my probably top tips, and they are going to be, this is going to be the most basic thing ever that you've probably been told, and all the blogs you've read have told you. Download the Disneyland Paris app. I know it sounds like the most basic thing ever, but download it. It has so much information on there that you will need to know. So it has all of the ride wait times, where everything is. You can literally map your way through the park. So if you click where you need to go, it'll give you directions to where you need to go. It has everything you need to know. You can mobile order food. You can look at the food menus. You can look like where the characters are meeting and what time. It has everything you need to know on there. It tells you stuff like what time the parades are on, what time the fireworks are on, what time the shows are on, where the shows are. So yes, basic, but you should probably download it because it is helpful. And also, if you have an iPhone, also download an app called MagiPark, just because I find it a lot easier to use than the Disneyland Paris app, but that is just for wait times. But it's more nicely formatted so that you can just scroll really easily rather than having to click into things and all that fun. So yes, if you have an iPhone only at the moment, I don't know if they are going to expand into Android, hopefully. But if you have an iPhone, definitely download MagiPark as well. Another one of my top tips is get there as early as you can. It sounds ridiculous, but the earlier you're there, the more you're going to get done. So if you are an on-site hotel guest, you get what's called extra magic hour. I will cover this in the hotel video, but if you get extra magic hour, utilize it because you can get so much done. So I am a Disneyland Paris Gold Pass member, so I get extra magic hour. I'm at the parks for extra magic hour every single time. There is very infrequent that I will not go for extra magic hour because I know how much you can get done in that time. So definitely get to the parks as early as you possibly can to get as much done as you possibly can before the busier middle of the day. And my top tip number 3, again, one of the most basic ones ever, and you're going to roll your eyes when I say it, wear comfy shoes. Please wear comfy shoes. Don't go in your pretty brand new sandals thinking, oh, it'll be alright, I'm just going to walk around the park for a bit. No. Don't do it to yourself. Like, you will cover 30,000 steps easily a day at Disneyland Paris. You think you're not walking that much? You really, really are. Like, it's a big park, and especially if you're walking between the two parks, because they are walkable. You can walk between the two of them. It takes maybe 10-15 minutes, if that. But it's a big resort. It really is, and people underestimate it because it's one of the smaller resorts. They underestimate how big it actually is. So please, 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 my tip to you, my ask of you, please wear comfy shoes. Like, don't go out and buy brand new trainers for your Disneyland Paris trip and wear them for the first time at the parks. They're going to give you blisters, your feet are going to hurt, and you're going to be miserable. And you don't want that. So if you are going to buy new trainers, wear them in first, please. I've worn uncomfortable shoes at the Disney parks before. I've done it. It's not a fun time. Don't do it to yourself as well. Like, don't fall at the first hurdle. Just wear the comfy trainers, please. And that is just about wrapping up this first video. I really hope that you've enjoyed it and that you found it useful. Like I said, there is going to be another 9 videos coming about pretty much everything that I can think of that you need to know about Disneyland Paris. Everything that will help you have the most wonderful time for your first trip. And yeah, everything that I, as a very experienced Disneyland Paris goer, I have been probably about 40 to 50 times in my whole life. Everything that I think you need to know to have an amazing first trip. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell to be notified when the videos do go live. Please do leave me a like, it really does help the channel out and it makes me smile. And if there's anything that you want to ask me, please feel free to drop a comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. You can also reach out to me on Instagram as well if you want, and I'm happy to chat over there and answer any questions that you might have. But yeah, I really hope that this video was really helpful. I hope that the next 9 are really helpful. And yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful trip into Disneyland Paris. And with that, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will catch you in the next one.